From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10, powered by Century Pro Wood.
Welcome back. Veer Savarkar is a national hero, a tremendous national icon. He must be honored, and yet when the Karnataka government unveiled his portrait on the opening day of the winter session of Assembly, it was met with protests. Who wants to run down and dismiss the legacy of Veer Savarkar? Let's debate.
Day 1 of Karnataka Assembly session in Belagavi. 7 portraits of India's icons were unveiled. Lingayat Seer Basaveshwara, Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Subhash Chandra Bose, Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. Vadra-Congress launched protests outside the assembly objecting to the display of Veer Savarkar.
ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿ ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಮಹಾಗ್ರಂಥವನ್ನು ಬರೆದಂಥವ್ರು. ಕನಕದಾಸರು ಅವರು ಬರೀ ಸಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಕವಿ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದ್ದವರು. ಸೊ ಇಂಥವ್ರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಶಿಸ್ನಾಳ್ ಶರೀಫರು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು.
The same Congress who until last week were backing a terrorist now have objection when a freedom fighter is honoured in the halls of assembly.
Who are the terrorists? Who is that? What action you have taken? Who has declared? Who asked the DG to declare himself that is a terrorist without the investigation? What investigation did they do? How many days they took? Who has been called a terrorist?
They want us not to entangle with the proceedings. They want our assembly should not take place. They want us to disturb. They have brought this photo because we are going to raise a lot of corruption issues.
स्वतंत्र वीर सावरकर के डालने से आपको दुख होगा? किसका डालना है? सिद्धरामैया को पूछो, ये दाऊद इब्राहिम का डालना है क्या? ये क्या चाहते हैं? What do they need? Their problem is the politics of appeasement. This politics of appeasement has led this country to this situation today.
Time and again, Rahul Gandhi has chosen to display his hatred for the freedom icon who was sentenced to Kala Pani for fighting for the nation.
ये सावरकर जी की चिट्ठी है जिसमें उन्होंने अंग्रेजों को लिखा है, I beg to remain, sir, योर मोस्ट ओबीडियंट सर्वेंट. तो मैं तो इसमें बहुत क्लियर हूं, सावरकर जी ने अंग्रेजों की मदद की.
मेरा नाम राहुल सावरकर नहीं है, मेरा नाम राहुल गांधी है. मैं सच्चाई के लिए कभी माफी नहीं मांगूंगा, मर जाऊंगा मगर माफी नहीं मांगूंगा.
सावरकर का नाम लेके हंगामा करके उनको जनता का मन भटकाना है, मगर मैं नहीं मानता कि जनता ये झुलसे में आएगी और जनता समझदार है. ऐसी राजनीति ये चालू रखेंगे तो इनका खुद का ही विसर्जन हो जाएगा.
Can Congress look beyond the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty and honour the real freedom fighters? Let's debate.
Straightforward question, and Atik can join the debate. Mohammad Asif Rahman, Syed Aslam and Pankaj Sharma. And S. Prakash of the Karnataka BJP, Ratan Sharda, Bhuvan Lal and Sangeet Ragi. You know, for me, the issue is clear, Mr. Prakash, that, and I'm sure it is to all of us, that the same leader from the same party which actively supports a terrorist called Sharik, and who says he's not a terrorist at all just 3 days back, despite his links with the ISIS, with the Al-Hind, despite his jihadi approach, background, jihadi terrorism, they support a jihadi terrorist, but they target Savarkar. Now, explain this to me. That's all that we need to ask tonight. 4 days back, you support a terrorist group. 4 days back, you support a terrorist. And today, you have huge problems when a portrait of Savarkar is put up in the Vidhan Sabha.
It's not the first time, Arnab.
Okay, who's opening the debate? 1 minute. We have Prakash and Ratan Sharda on the right, and we have Pankaj Sharma and Atikur Rahman on the right. Right, please. Left and right. Yes, please. Thank you. Who goes first?
Arnab.
One of you, I'll call out names. Mr. Prakash goes first. Mr. Prakash.
Don't forget that
Mr.
Congress
Prakash goes
celebrated Tipu Sultan Jayanti as a part of its secular ethos. Tipu Sultan, who was responsible for killing of thousands of Hindus and Christians, who put elephants to kill these people because they अरे आपको बीच में बोल दो किसने बोला?
Those who are speaking, the audio is there, the video is not there. Producers, please take a look at that. Thank you.
So they polarize the polity and then they talk about Savarkar. What did Indira Gandhi say about Savarkar? Veer Savarkar's daring defiance of the British government has its own importance in the annals of our freedom movement. I wish success to the plans to celebrate the birth centenary of a remarkable son of India. I'll give one more very interesting quote. Profoundly as we disagree with his politics, this is pluralism. Savarkar showed the old fire in him when he took up the thoughtless challenge thrown to Hindu Mahasabha by the government of Bihar and obtained a resounding victory at Bhagalpur with Sir Stafford Cripps. He crossed swords, which the former will never forget. Who said it? Mr. Nehru's National Herald in 1942. On what face are they debating this? We have debated Savarkar's positives, Savarkar's contribution to freedom struggle by eminent historians, by best possible minds. We don't even need to go into depth because that is not the issue. Problem with them is that Savarkar was a Hindutvadi. He was a
Ratan Sharda, 1 minute, just wait. Let me open it. No, 1 minute.
Being written by Mr.
Ratan Sharda, time limit. Ratan Sharda, time limit.
Just a moment. Why are they afraid of Savarkar? Because they know new history will find new heroes, unknown heroes, unsung heroes. While they have been talking of Dedi Hame Azadi Bina Khadak Bina Dal, the revolutionaries, INA, they find no place. Tribal struggle, they find no place. Revolutionaries find hardly any place. And this is coming out openly.
No, Ratan Sharda, you can't give such a long reply that other side. No. Ratan Sharda, don't. Ratan Sharda, wait. Ratan Sharda, now you got. Ratan Sharda, you got to cooperate. Ratan Sharda, you can't say everything that you know, every disagreement you have with the way they've written history can't be put in answer. No, आप एक मिनट. No, let's keep the focus here. Question is simple. Why Sharik of Al-Hind and why not Savarkar? Why? Simple question. You are supporting Sharik. You are supporting the terrorist.
But Sharik's photograph, Arnab, is not on the assembly floor.
Okay.
His portrait, nobody demands.
Okay. Yeah.
We never demanded that any of the terrorist-linked people should go to parliament, as the BJP did with Sadhvi Pragya. We are not demanding. We are not demanding the accused of terrorism people should be garlanded.
She is under trial.
Atik.
Trial was not charged for 8 years. Don't mislead people.
Atik, I'll tell you one thing. No. Watch. 1 minute. I wish that because now that all the witnesses have gone hostile, the truth has begun to come out, and this terrible lie about Hindu terrorism is going to be exposed. I want the first defamation suit that Sadhvi Pragya puts to be put against Atikur Rahman, who is a known Zakir Naik acolyte. He's a known Zakir Naik supporter. The first time he ever came on television was to defend Zakir Naik. And that's the truth. Wasn't it the first reason you came on television to defend Zakir Naik? Will you defend the terrorist actions of Zakir Naik as well? Will you defend the radicalization of Zakir Naik as well? Now, Atikur Rahman, and watch your words and watch your language when you talk about Savarkar. Watch your language and watch your tongue when you speak about Savarkar. Watch it. Watch it. I'll tell you because what do you and Rahul Gandhi and Osama
reject him?
Now my simple question is, what do you know about what Savarkar was made to go through?
Can you delink his name with Godse?
One second.
If
you're going to stop shouting and shrieking, if you're going to stop shrieking like that, I'll respond to you. If you no, 1 minute, Ratan Sharda, wait. Ratan Sharda, wait. I can respond to now.
Dealing Savarkar.
Just be quiet. You radicalized person, please listen to me. Zakir Naik supporter. Zakir Naik supporter, listen to me. He was kept in a tiny cell in Kala Pani, made to drink dirty rainwater, kept in complete isolation, tied to mills. Thank you, please. Tied to mills like fed with foul food, which included insects and reptiles, made to live without basic human necessities of toilets and water, made to stand all day long in handcuffs.
No one is disrespecting.
And you don't want to talk about this? No. 1 minute. Mohammad Tausif Rahman, I did not give you permission. 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 Yeah. What do you know about his contribution to India? What do you know about his contribution to India?
Yeah. Everyone fought for India.
No. Don't try and backtrack now. No, I can't. Both these people are shouting. I'll tackle one at a time. I'll tackle one at a time because you can't be cowards. All three of you cannot talk against me at the same time. I shall deal with one of you. I will thrash your arguments and respond to you after that. Please don't shout. Please don't shout, Tausif. Tausif, don't shout. Tausif, don't shout.
That's all right.
Tausif, just relax.
I'm not shouting today.
You are.
I'm not shouting
You are shouting
today.
nervously.
I'm just replying.
You are shouting nervously.
Nothing else.
You're nervous.
You take it personally.
You're extremely nervous.
You always take it
You are
personally.
extremely nervous.
No, you take it personally.
You are
I don't
nervous.
understand.
No, I don't take it personally. I don't take it personally, but I know how to deal with you. I know how to deal with you. I think Savarkar was one of the greatest sons of India. And I know that he was chained and flogged while being imprisoned in the cellular jail for over a decade. And the fact is that there are people in this country who revere him. Who revere him. Well, more than your 53-year-old adolescent knows. Now, you want Nehru everywhere. That's what you want. You want Nehru everywhere.
No.
You want Nehru in the airport. You want Nehru everywhere. No. You want Nehru in the airport. You want Nehru in the hospital. You want Nehru on the train. You want Nehru in the car. Yeah. You want Nehru. You want Nehru in the aerodrome. You want Nehru in the railway station. You want Nehru in the bus stop. You want Nehru in the university. You want Nehru at the traffic signal.
I don't want.
Yeah, you do. You do. Well, you do. Well, I think you do. I think you do. I think you do. And I think to do honor to this country, Savarkar must replace the Nehru name in most of these places. I want S. Prakash to come in. Let there be diversity of thinking in this country.
Why?
S. Prakash. Why not? Why not? And who are you to decide? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Why?
Because you don't like him?
So why not?
Because you know nothing about him?
Why not the Muslim freedom fighters?
Hindu, Muslim, that's all you can do. Hindu, Muslim, that's all you do.
They were the traitors.
1 minute, please. 1 minute.
They are not the freedom fighters.
Now, 1 minute, please. I'm 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Can you, Sangeet Ragi, stop shouting? Because I can't hear all of you speaking at the same time. Sangeet Ragi, I couldn't hear what you said. Just wait a minute. I can't hear him here in the studio, please. Somebody's got to help me with the audio here.
For Pakistan.
I can't
hear. Not for United India.
What did you say?
Not for United India.
What did you say? Say it again, because I didn't hear you.
Just shut up.
What did you say?
Arnab, we must understand who are opposing the Islamists, the radical Islamists.
No, what did you say before
the
that?
Leftists,
volume down for it, Mohammad Tausif Rahman, please. 1 minute. Now, reduce the volume. I'll reduce the volume for you as well, Sangeet Ragi, because you're not listening to me. Sangeet Ragi, now enough. Sangeet Ragi, listen to me. Wait a minute. What did you say before that? Because I can't, in the din of it, you people say something. I don't get to respond to it. I don't get to listen properly to you. And you just speak over each other. Just wait a while and repeat what you said again. What did you say? Say it from the beginning. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Arnab, yes. Who are opposing Savarkar? The Islamist, the radical Islamist.
What did you say about Muslims before that?
Yeah, I said that the Muslims were fighting for Pakistan after 1924. They were not fighting for United India.
They didn't side
I'll
with
say one thing to
Gandhi.
you. Now, 1 minute. Sangeet Ragi, wait a minute. Right there. Right there. Tausif, you don't need to respond because I'm speaking to him. So just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Mr. Ragi, I'll tell you something. Don't expect me to agree with you on this. Wait a minute, Mr. Tausif
No, don't
Rahman.
agree.
I don't, but I'll tell you
Don't
something.
agree.
I'll tell you.
Don't
Can you stop?
agree.
Can you stop?
Don't
Can you
agree
stop?
with.
Why are you speaking
But can you
why
tell
are you
me about
speaking
what
over me?
Cripps
Why are you
said
speaking
so?
over me? Why are you speaking over me?
I'm speaking
why
because
why
I
are you
want to know
speaking
the
over
truth.
me? No, you know.
I
You know,
know
Mr.
because
Ragi,
what
Mr. Ragi,
ultimately happened in
Mr. Ragi, Mr.
1947.
Ragi, you'll be happy if I correct you.
What
Mr. Ragi,
Savarkar questioned
Mr.
the
Ragi, let me
Savarkar
correct you. Let me
questioned the
correct you.
morality of
Let me correct
the
you,
Muslim
Mr. Ragi.
leaders and
Mr.
the Muslim
Ragi,
communities.
Mr.
And that
Ragi,
true- that came true in 1947.
Mr. Ragi, you're
and that
going to have
stands
to.
even true
Mr.
even
Ragi,
today.
Mr. Ragi, I'll just be quiet for a minute. Okay? Tausif, be quiet. And because I didn't hear you the last time, and I'm going to say something now, you listen to me, and please don't speak over me because I'll get damn irritated with you, Sangeet Ragi, as well. Okay? You're not always right. You have no right to say Muslims. You can say Jinnah. You can say the Muslim
Not
League.
Jinnah.
No, 1 minute.
I'm
now
sorry
I'm
to
speaking.
say.
I'm
No, I'm
speaking,
sorry to
and I
say.
will have my
I'm
say.
not sorry-
I
I'm
am
sorry to
speaking,
say.
and I will have
Not
my
only
say.
Jinnah, you
Mr.
are-
Ragi,
you are
Mr. Ragi,
talking the language
don't try
of
this stunt
Nehru.
with me,
You
Mr.
are
Ragi.
talking the language of
Mr.
Nehru,
Ragi,
who spoke in the
Mr. Ragi,
Constitution
why are you
debates.
speaking over me? Why are you speaking? Why can't you hear a contrary
No,
point of
why-
view?
why-
Both you and Tausif
it was
both have a
not only
problem here.
Jinnah. I'm sorry to say it was not only Jinnah. Don't try to dilute it, Arnab. The
Mr. Ragi.
Muslims after Khilafat movement fought for Pakistan, not for United India.
Just can both of you be quiet for a minute because this is exactly what I.
Come on! What they did? What they did to this nation? What did they do to this nation? When they opposed partition of the country, tell me when Maulana Azad.
I'll have to stop this here. Mr. Ragi, a volume for both of you is down. The volume for both of you will be down for a minute, please. Because I'm seeing extreme intolerance from both views. Now, you'll have to be quiet. It's a very convenient situation. Tausif, just wait a while. It's a very convenient Hindu-Muslim debate that one is wanting to start. And I want to tell you one thing very clearly. Hindu pride, which one must have, does not mean speaking untruths like you do, Mr. Ragi, with so much conviction, and please listen to me entirety. Go today after the program, Mr. Ragi, if you can, and do a little bit of research on how many Muslims were part of the Indian National Army. So you have no right to make a sweeping comment like that. After this program is over, and the problem is that you will get the support of a few trolls, but you will not have my respect. Mr. Ragi, you need to, Mr. Ragi, now I told you to be quiet, and the problem is the more you speak right now, you're reflecting the fact that you are afraid of being taken on live television. Mr. Ragi, I'm taking you on. Mr. Ragi, I'm taking you on. Nice and square, I'm taking you on. I will take you on. So please have the decency to listen to me. Okay? And there is no need to speak over me. And I'll tell you this. You can be right-wing, you can be left-wing. You can't utter untruths on my program. You have every right to be a proud Hindu. But you have no right to insult all Muslims. You cannot do that. No, you cannot do that. Mr. Ragi, that is the dangerous thought I oppose. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you're a nationalist, Mr. Ragi, you can say, listen to me, Mr. Ragi. I know more about Savarkar, by the way, than you. I know more about Savarkar than you, Mr. Ragi. You please listen to me. Please listen to me. Be a proud Hindu, but don't have to induce Muslim hate. Be clear about it. No, be clear about it. Say today. Like, no, 1 minute, please. Say 1 minute, please. 1 minute, Mr. Ragi. Say, Mr. Ragi, listen to me. Say, I tell you, and fight with Syed Aslam and Mohammad Tausif Rahman and Atikur Rahman and tell them that you're disrespecting Savarkar. Because that's what I do. You can't disrespect Savarkar. He was unfairly jailed under the fugitive law. Fight them on history. But do not think that you can come and say out here that all Muslims before independence
I say,
You know, no. You can't make that comment.
I would like
you can't,
to thank
and
you.
you are being unfair here.
Arnab,
And that's why I told you to repeat it. That's why I told you to repeat it, because otherwise, what happens, Mr. Ragi, is people will think, and you will think that I endorse your views. I don't endorse your views. I don't endorse your view.
Don't endorse.
That's it. So let me give my view. Now my question is, please, Dr. Bhuvan Lal, and can we just Bhuvan Lal and Pankaj Sharma. The Karnataka government is very angry. The Karnataka Congress, when the Karnataka government does not put Nehru's photo in a tribute to freedom fighters. After Mission Shakti, on 27th March 2019, when we successfully complete Mission Shakti by testing the A-sat missile, they want us to credit Nehru. But they have a visceral hatred, or I would say a fear of Savarkar. Somewhere I feel Bhuvan, and then Mr. Prakash can come in, there is a fear of Savarkar. Savarkar has come to represent Hindu pride as well as a strong nationalistic spirit. That should not make any reasonable Indian insecure. Bhuvan Lal.
Arnab, thank you. I was just wondering, what a sad day that we have to discuss the relevance of Veer Savarkar on national television. That man belonged to India, and his contribution during the freedom movement is unique. He was the man who led the India House activities in London. He was the person who was in the realm of the greatest revolutionaries India has produced. In the period 1909 to 1910, the India-Paris group, the revolutionaries there, Bikaji Kama, Godrej, S.R. Rana, Shamji Krishna Verma, Hardyal and Savarkar, they were leading the fight against the British imperial power alone, without any resources. And who was helping them? People from Egypt. The Egyptian revolutionaries were with them. And all these people wanted the colonial powers of Britain to die. Now,
Sir,
over time,
till 1924,
discuss the fact that
till 1911, till
please hang on. Don't interrupt, sir.
Right.
I didn't interrupt you. Please don't interrupt
Syed
me.
Aslam, let him
me
complete.
finish my point.
Syed Aslam, if required, I'll extend this debate. Let him complete.
I'm just about to complete.
Yes.
Let me complete. Please relax.
Yes.
We are discussing Veer Savarkar. Let's hold your breath for a minute. At that period of time, the British Hukumat, they decided that Savarkar was the greatest danger to their empire. He was number one on the list of revolutionaries after Aurobindo Ghosh went to Pondicherry. So they made sure they caught him, and they gave him the most dreaded punishment you can ever give to anybody in that period, Sazai Kala Pani. The most dangerous thing that can happen to a human being.
Let him complete.
We always discuss his mercy petition, but we don't discuss what took him there.
Arnab,
And that point has to be brought in every time you bring up the name of Veer Savarkar.
Savarkar has immense contribution.
Asaf Ali, who was a student in London at that time.
Bhuvan is responding.
Let me finish.
Bhuvan, Syed Aslam is responding. I allow the debate right now because you've spoken now. Syed Aslam is responding.
I'm concluding.
Yeah.
I'm concluding.
Okay, he's concluding, he says. He says he's concluding.
No doubt that Savarkar has immense contribution
I'm concluding,
to
sir.
freedom struggle before he was arrested. He was arrested in 1911, and after multiple mercy petitions, when he was released in 1924, I would want to ask Mr. Prakash and the gentleman who spoke just before me, what is his contribution to freedom struggle? Sir, I will tell you what is his contribution. In 1942,
okay, let me come back.
He was the president of Hindu Mahasabha. In his presidential address in 1942 in Kanpur, he spoke against the Quit India movement. Hindu Mahasabha and the Muslim League jointly in a coalition formed government
a question
in
to you,
Punjab,
Syed Aslam, let me ask you this. One minute. Just a view. One minute. Syed Aslam, please just be a little retro. Think about it.
Okay.
Did Bhagat Singh's approach or Netaji's approach agree or fall in line with Gandhi's approach? Can you undermine Bhagat Singh's contribution? So please don't say that. Please don't say. 1 minute, please. Please don't say. Syed Aslam, don't speak over me. I didn't over you. Please don't say that his approach did not agree with the approach in the 40s of the Indian National Congress, because please understand the view, the question here is, and Mr. Prakash can come in because he hasn't spoken at all, a party that supports a colonialist like A.O. Hume, who founded their party, tries to attack a nationalist like Savarkar. Now we've got to think in India, who do we respect, A.O. Hume, the colonialist, or Savarkar, the nationalist? And don't say that there was only one way. There were a lot of people who contributed to Indian independence, many of whose names were deliberately erased over 7 decades in a very systematic way. I'd like Mr. Prakash to come in, please. Mr. Prakash.
Yes.
Sir, I'll confine to the Congress protest in the assembly against putting up the Savarkar photo.
Yes.
I do not want to talk about the legacy or the contribution of Mr. Savarkar, which has been debated hours together, and it is futile to argue with the people who strongly believe he is not a freedom fighter. Savarkar was a great freedom fighter. He has been respected and decorated today in the Karnataka assembly, and his portrait has been unveiled. The Congress party is totally a confused lot. Siddaramaiah says he is not opposed to putting up of Savarkar portrait in the assembly. And D.K. Shivakumar says, why Savarkar? Why not others? They had power for 7 years in Karnataka continuously. 5 years Siddaramaiah was the chief minister. 2 years they were supporting Kumaraswamy government. The session was going on even then in Belagavi Assembly, Suvarna Bhavan. But why did they not put up one single nationalist photo? Forget Savarkar. They did not even put up Mahatma Gandhi photo. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar photo was also not put up there. And today BJP government has put up those portraits, and Congress party, out of no issue, they are trying to create a controversy over a freedom fighter. The House is the Speaker is the custodian of the House, and he has every right to choose the photo of the nationalist and display it in the House. And the Congress party, Speaker doesn't have the right to do it. Speaker doesn't have the right to do it. You have to collaboratively agree with the opposition parties. We are living in a democratic country. We are not living in a monarchy. Let me tell you, we're not living in a monarchy. You have to be in collaboration.
It is not for running. It is not for the running.
No. The question that Mr. Prakash has raised, I'd like Pankaj to come in on that. It's a logical question. Just 1 minute. It's a logical question, Pankaj. Syed, Pankaj hasn't spoken. Syed, Pankaj hasn't spoken, please. Syed, Pankaj has not spoken, please. Just 1 minute. Today, Siddaramaiah is saying, and it's a political question, that why don't you put pictures of Valmiki, Basavanna, Kanakadasa, B.R. Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Nehru. Now, what stopped you from putting, you were in power for so many years in Karnataka, why didn't you put up their pictures then? Why are you doing this Savarkar versus Ambedkar kind of issue out here? It makes no sense to me. Why didn't you put up those pictures earlier? What do you think, Pankaj?
See, the opposition is essentially agitating for 2 reasons, and both these reasons are valid. One, the state government unilaterally took the decision, and the opposition was not consulted at all. 2, they are saying that the portraits of other social reformers, other important leaders, Devampu, Narayana Guru, Shishunala Sharif, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Babu Jagjeevan Ram, should also be the part of Assembly Hall. So why is BJP avoiding to put
why? Okay, I put another question. I put it differently. The British, okay, let me argue this. The British were very afraid of Savarkar. Let's be very clear about it. This is a man who spent 5 years in London. He galvanized the revolutionary movement. He made contacts with the Irish, the French, the Italian, Russian, Americans. He became one of the most dangerous revolutionaries against the British. So I can understand why the British were scared of Savarkar. Why is the Congress scared of Savarkar, Ratan Chadha? Why is the Congress scared? What has Savarkar come to symbolize? Let's go into that.
Arnab, the problem is Hindutva, not Savarkar, because they hate Hindutva. They hate the inclusive philosophy of Hindutva, which treats every religion equally and is an inclusive philosophy. They love secularism because they can divide people on the basis of caste, religion, and try to create vote banks. That is the first issue. Second, I said, it is they are afraid that as the freedom struggle stories come out, the monopoly of Congress, which was created by the historians, that
Sir, it
they
is
brought
not about
they brought in
Congress.
freedom,
I'm sorry, it is not
freedom
about
struggle.
Congress.
I'm sorry. If you link Godse with Savarkar, you also link Jinnah with Congress, because Jinnah was a congressman first. So you do not want to give credit to Netaji Bose. Netaji was also not involved in 1942 to quit India movement. He went with Hitler to attack British. Are you going to call him a traitor? Are you going to say Jinnah was a congressman because he was in Congress before he joined Muslim League?
Okay. I ask you this. I ask you. No, 1 minute.
You don't talk to what about naval mutiny. You don't want to speak about the Iron Net trials. You don't want to give due respect to Netaji Subhash Bose or Patel or anybody. So you want to create a myth that independence struggle was all due to Mr. Nehru and Mr. Gandhi.
Okay. One last question. Syed Aslam, can you just give me a moment? I have one question, and Sangeet Ragi, I'm coming to you in a minute. I have one question, because I have limited time. You see, Mr. Ragi, I have a problem with your stance on that particular subject. We can disagree, but I have a bigger problem with Rahul Gandhi's lack of knowledge. So ignorant about his own country, His own grandmother released a stamp in honor of Savarkar.
That's true.
His grandmother released a postal stamp in honor of Savarkar.
She also donated amount of 10,000 rupees.
No, but why did the question everyone should ask this fellow Raga is, why did your grandmother honor Savarkar?
Oh, why are you talking about Raga?
No, this point, because it is his party.
The intellectual IQ of Raga, you know it very well. He has the IQ of a boy, he cannot aspire even to a 10th class.
So the appeasement
Please don't talk about.
Is very much acceptable.
Don't about he doesn't have any understanding of. But let me answer one thing. Gandhi on 4th May 1940 said, I would any day prefer Muslim rule over the British rule. Gandhi again writing on 4th May 40 in Harijan that Pakistan cannot be a worse than the foreign domination. Why Gandhi or Indian National Congress was expecting Indian National Congress expecting Savarkar to leave India movement, which was not even known to the Congress senior leaders.
Obsessed with the Muslim politics in 1947.
No. I'm not obsessed with. It is a true and it is a crude and it is a bizarre reality. It's a reality, mister. It's a reality. Whether you accept it or you don't accept it. It's a mindset. What Ambedkar said, Hindu-Muslim reality, Hindu-Muslim relations cannot be a reality at all. Why don't you bring in Ambedkar in discourse? Why only on Savarkar? Savarkar questioned the loyalty of Muslims in India on the issue of Pitra Bhumi and Punya
ladies and gentlemen, on that, I have to go to my last debate, and today has been a series of self-goals by the Vadra-Congress, and the Vadra-Congress has decided to make the mascot